Hey, if you've ever wondered how to make aesthetic content just like this, then you're in the right place because in this video, I'm going to be going over my secret method on how I make all of my videos look aesthetically pleasing. If you're new here, my name is Chrissy Walker and I help small content creators make better content, get more subscribers, and make money online. And if that sounds like your jam, then go ahead and do me a solid and like this video and then subscribe to my channel for more content just like this. So let's go ahead and get into it. And if you're looking for a guide that actually shows you exactly what you need to do on a day-to-day basis to actually grow your channel, then I have a free YouTube growth roadmap just for you in the description below. You can go ahead and download that and it's completely free. I do want you to keep in mind that your aesthetic could look different from mine and it could look different from anyone else's. So how I teach about how to create an aesthetic looking video in this video, it could be a little different from how you see aesthetic looking videos to be. So I'm going to teach you the best ways that I have found have worked for multiple creators and that you can use starting today. We're first going to start with our iPhone settings. So if you have an Android, the settings aren't going to apply to you, but if you know how to navigate through Android settings, I believe it should be about the same thing. But I'm going to go through iPhone settings. So to get the best possible looking video for your short form content, because this is going to be all about short form content, you're going to go to your settings and then you want to scroll down all the way to camera. Once you click on camera, all these settings will pop up. And if you go to record video, you want to be sure that you're recording 4K at 30 FPS, or you can do 1080 HD at 30 FPS, but I prefer to do 4K at 30 FPS. And if you plan to do slow-mo videos, then I recommend to go for 4K at 60 FPS. That's where I have noticed that the quality has been the best for my videos, and it always comes out looking really nice and really clean. So then if you go back to the camera settings, you're going to go ahead and go to preserve settings. And these settings are really important because they actually preserve the last settings that you used for your video. So when you go to your video camera on your iPhone and you change the settings, whether if it's like lower exposure, higher exposure, whatever it is, or if you change the saturation look or the color of the video, it will save that. So when you exit out of your camera and you go back to it, it will still be the same. And I think this is really important because you can have the same exact settings for an entire video. And I think having the same settings for every video creates this very cohesive and nice look, which makes the entire video look aesthetic and it kind of pulls it all together. So you're going to go to preserve settings, and what I recommend to keep on is exposure adjustment. All the other ones are up to you, but I keep on exposure adjustment because that's the one that I use. You can mess around with creative controls, with depth control. And if you want to speed up the process of every time you open up your camera, it's automatically on video, you can go ahead and toggle on camera mode, but that's up to you. Because usually when you open up your camera on an iPhone, it goes straight to the regular camera, not the video. So then if you go back to your camera settings and you messed around and you figured out what kind of preserve settings that you would like, towards the bottom, you can see under composition, there is grid. Go ahead and toggle that on. There is level, toggle that on, and then everything else doesn't matter. Just make sure you have Smart HDR turned off because from what I've researched, it actually messes with the quality of your video when you are importing and then trying to edit it in your editor. So the only things that you really have to touch is the record video, the preserve settings. You want to toggle on grid and level under composition, and then you're all set to go. So my secret formula that I use for every single video when I record that helps me achieve this aesthetic feel and aesthetic look with my videos is slow movement plus same exposure plus music. And don't worry, we're going to go ahead and unpack this so that you understand fully where I'm coming from, and I will show you a few demonstrations on how to go about it. So let's go ahead and unpack the slow movement shots. So when it comes to slow movement, there's a few things that I mean here. So it's either the movement of the actual shot. So if you're panning from left to right, right to left, if you're zooming in and out, if you're tilting up and down, that is one type of movement. But if you're not planning to move your camera at all, if you plan to just leave your phone on a tripod and record, then the slow movement is within the shot itself. So it's subjects moving within your shot. So this could include leaves blowing in the wind. It can include people walking. It can include a candle flickering. So for the most part, everything is kind of slowed down. At least when I'm recording, that's kind of the feel that I get when I'm recording and I'm trying to make sure I keep in mind the slow movement. I imagine, or I just like feel as if everything in the shot is moving slow, or at least everything is completely grounded in the shot. And so when you're panning and you're going left to right, you're moving slow. And if you want to do tilts going up and down and you move slow, if you zoom in and out, you just want to make sure that it's very stable as well. And if you have stability in your shot while you're moving, it creates just this like, I don't know, this feeling of just like kind of like intensity, but also like softness. And when you have your entire video filled with nothing but slow movement shots, whether if it's your camera actually moving or if it's the subjects within your video moving, it just brings it all together. It brings it all together, and it just, to me, it creates this like very aesthetic feel to it. So let's say you don't have a hand for moving shots. What you can do is, I mean, to me, the easiest thing is to invest in a stabilizer so that you can move around and your shots will be smooth no matter what. But what you could do is, if you have like your tripod and you put on your tripod, you can kind of like move your tripod, and it's not gonna do like a parallel pan where it's just like side to side. It's gonna be more of like kind of like a rotation. You can kind of rotate it. You can even do a pan with that. So it's kind of like a rotation type of feel, but it can still create an aesthetic look as long as you're moving slowly as you're panning or tilting. Now, another way that you could do that is with zooming. If you don't have a steady hand and you still want to do zooms, what you can do is just record the footage on your tripod and just let it sit. And then when you go into your editor and you start editing, you implement the zooms there. And when you do it, you just zoom in just a little bit. You only zoom in a little bit. You don't have to zoom into the video too far at all. You just zoom in a little bit, and you make sure that the duration of it is a little bit longer than you would think, or just like a little bit long, I guess. So when you're doing the zoom, make sure the duration is like 3 to 5 seconds long, or something like that, I guess. But you just got to play around with the edits and see what feels right. So when it comes to slow moving shots, that's what I mean by that, is just like literally moving slowly, making sure you're stable when you're recording. And then if you want to have just like still shots, but have movement within your shots, then just have a few subjects in your shots moving. For example, if you're watching like a day in a life video and it's on TikTok and you just like watch someone do stuff, their camera or their phone is usually on a tripod and it's stable, and the only thing that's moving is them and whatever activity they're doing. And it's a sequence of their actions. And that's, to me, it makes it look aesthetic, especially if there's like good lighting and good music. It just brings it all together. And so that is an example of utilizing or making an aesthetic video with just like still shots and movement within your shots. So the next part we're gonna unpack is the same exposure. So for me, when I first started my aesthetic video journey, I don't even know what to call it, I used -1.7 exposure for all my videos. It creates like moodiness, and it creates like this monochrome luxury feel to my videos, and paired with the music and like the slow movement, like the videos were, I loved it. I just like loved watching it over and over and over again. And the exposure is going to help so much with bringing your entire video together. So choose an exposure, and it doesn't have to be for every single video that you have to do the same exposure. Like not every single video you put out has to be -1.7. You can have the same exposure throughout the entirety of one video, and then the next video you can do a different level of exposure through the entirety of your video. So I would just say record at 4K for 30 FPS and make sure your exposure is the same through the entire video. No matter if one shot seems brighter than the other, you can always edit that in your editor when you're, video editing. So make sure your exposure is the same throughout the entire thing. It makes the whole entire video look cohesive. And if every single video is the same exposure, you don't really have to worry about editing the brightness and stuff like that. And it'll save you tons of time. Now for the third part, music. You want to make sure you choose the right music. Music has a huge influence on everything and everyone. If you're watching a video, let's say you're watching a video or a movie, and let's say there is an intense part. So let's say it's a horror movie and there's supposed to be a suspenseful part coming up. Sometimes to achieve the suspension and like the scariness of a film, they have to implement the music to it. Even if it's just like very soft, quiet music, it still enhances that moment. Imagine watching the movie and there is no music to it at all. or even just like no sound at all, just like nothing, you're not really gonna get scared. Like there are times when I would hack a movie, a scary movie, and if I knew I was gonna be scared, I would mute it. And when I muted it and then I watched it happen, I wasn't scared. But then when I turn it on and then I hear the sound effects and then I hear the music and the suspension building up and then the turning point happen, I would get scared. I would spook myself real badly. So music plays a huge part in basically influencing how someone should feel while they watch your video. So when you're creating aesthetic content, you want to figure out the kind of aesthetic you're trying to go for. Like for me, when I first started creating aesthetic videos, I went for a mature, luxury, kind of old school or like 90s feel. And I achieved that. And I started to get the audience that I wanted watching my videos. So you want to be sure that you choose the right music. Just imagine an aesthetic video that you watched before where like, you know, you were vibing with the music and like, it just like, it really spoke to your soul. Just imagine that video without music to it and you're just watching clips. It's just like, it doesn't feel the same. It really doesn't. I always get this question a lot. What music, or where do I find my music? How am I able to implement music to my videos without copyright issues? So no matter what kind of video you're editing, I always recommend to take music from the native platform that you're uploading to. So if you're creating videos for TikTok, use TikTok music. If you're creating videos for Instagram, use Instagram music. If you're creating videos for YouTube, use YouTube music. But if you want a way to kind of go around that, what you can do is utilize a third-party platform where you can use royalty-free music, or I don't even know if that's the right term, but you can use music without having issues with copyright infringement. And I highly recommend Epidemic Sound, and you can actually check out the link down below if you want to sign up for it. But Epidemic Sound is amazing because they have so many good song selections for any type of mood. They also have sound effects if you need that, and it plays a huge role in how my videos come out because the music in it really like influences like the pace of my videos, how my viewers should feel and stuff like that. So I highly recommend it, and you can check them out down below in my description. Now, hopefully you found this video helpful. So let's go ahead and kind of wrap that all together. So my secret formula altogether is slow movement shots, same exposure through the entire video, and music. When you put that together, you should be able to accomplish what you want to accomplish, which is creating aesthetic looking, aesthetic feeling videos. And if you found this video helpful, feel free to like and subscribe to my channel. And don't forget that you have access to my free YouTube growth roadmap, which is linked in the description below. And you're more than welcome to click on the video on the screen because it'll most likely be so helpful for you. And I will see you there. Bye.